There's a lot of good things to get here. And I've been getting a whole lot of them. I really like these. And these. There are so many good things here. I can hardly choose, but I can't take everything. It hardly seems fair. Oh, that's right. We're totally out of toilet paper at home. I got to go get some toilet paper. No room for this in the cart. It's not going to fit. I'll just carry it. I'll just carry it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We need fruits and vegetables. But where am I going to put them? Are you sure we need all those veggies and fruit? Why? Well, I don't really have room for them in the cart. Yeah, it's already full with stuff, all kinds of stuff. What do you mean, what kind of stuff? Groceries. Yeah, I got some chips. I got some frozen pizzas. 7. Well, yeah, 7. Yeah, I got some soda. 3. 24, not 12. 20. Yeah, well, they're already in the cart. No, they're underneath so much. I can't get them out now. Yeah, I did get some Cheetos. They were on special. Well, you like them too. Come on. Bread? Bread? Oh, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I called about the veggies. I don't see how I'm going to fit all of that stuff in. I don't have room. And the milk, eggs, not going to happen. Too full. No space for them. It's easy to fill up your cart with stuff you like, but that isn't what you really need. This store is so full of good things, way more than I could ever begin to fit in my cart, so I've got to make decisions. And I really didn't choose very well first time around. So I'm going to empty my cart of all the stuff that's taking up space from the things that I really want. First things first, it's a really good grocery shopping strategy. It's even a better life strategy. Like the grocery store, there are so many good things filling up this world, and it's really easy to just go and start picking without ever really choosing. And then we end up filling our lives with all sorts of good stuff, but when it comes to the really great stuff, there's no room for it. Jesus said, "I have a new commandment for you. Love one another. Just as I have loved you, so you should love one another." Now, Jesus did not go around rewriting the commandments all the time, but this time he did. That means this is really important. He added one thing, and among all the things he could have chosen to emphasize, to establish as ultimately important for us, he chose this. It was about our relationships. To me, that means our primary relationships, they go in the cart first, and everything else has to find space around them. I have a lot of good memories from growing up, but among the very best of them are of my dad on summer evenings. My dad had an all-consuming job, and if you ask him, I'm sure he would have felt he never really spent enough time with us as a family. But it wasn't unusual for him to pop his head into the room while we were watching TV or to interrupt a game and say to us, "Hey, want to go for a walk?" We would inevitably roam around the neighborhood, just these beautiful summer evenings around the streets, and we would talk. And I don't remember one conversation we had, but I do remember holding his hand. And I remember as we walked and talked, just feeling like the world was a pretty good place. And inevitably, we would end up at the popcorn stand not too far from my house. My dad would buy a warm bag of peanuts that we would share on the way home. We didn't do this every night, but my dad made sure he took time for us often enough that bonds of love that would last a lifetime were there. Stuff that I hope to repeat with my kids as well. Having something at the top of our priority list doesn't mean that we have to spend all of our time with it. Yeah, we need vegetables, but we need more than just vegetables. Other things are important too. And then there are also the things that just have to do, the unavoidables. That's why being clear about what is most important is so important. The best is often the victim of the mere good, or sometimes of just plain busyness. To make sure I fill my cart with the most important stuff, I have a list, a grocery list. It makes sure that I fill my cart, that I get the stuff that is the most important, the stuff that will give me healthy and enjoyable breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Now, the store also has a list. It's a lot more attractive than mine. It's full of good stuff, great stuff, and useless stuff. It isn't a matter of the store being deceptive or profit hungry at my expense. The point is that a store can't have all my best interests in mind because they aren't me. That's my job. Without my list, I have to constantly defend myself against their list and all the seduction of the packaging. It isn't the world's job to make sure that I have no distractions from what matters most in my life. That's my job too. That's why I have a list. I need to be reminded that there are people in my life that take precedence over all the other concerns that I might have. And that includes things like my job and my hobbies. It includes things like my sense of order or my moods. And it needs to be more than just a list. It needs to have priorities attached so that even when I can't do everything I need to, I know what comes first, even among the important stuff. It also means that those things that are the most important to me not only have to make it on my list, they have to end up in my cart. Jesus didn't say, tell one another that you love them, although I'm sure he was in favor of that. No, he said, love them. Actually, do it. Just like the contents of this cart will reflect what ends up in my body, so what is on my calendar and on my bank and my credit card statements is going to reflect what my relationships are like. We devote time and money to the things we value most. Let me level with you. If you have a relationship that is suffering because you can't find one evening every week, you can't find an hour for that get-together or the time for the phone calls, if the emails and texts never end up in a face-to-face get-together, then that relationship is not a priority, even if you think it is. And if you don't like what's happening to your relationships because of all of that, then change it. You decide what ends up in your cart. Don't let anyone else call those shots for you. Not your career, not your guilt, not your emotions, not someone else's demands on you. Search your heart. What will build the life that you want to be living 10 years from now? I'm going to tell you that that's more a who question than a what question. It's about the relationships. It's about loving one another. People are what make life worthwhile, not things. And those people, they should be taking up a lot of room in your cart. Thank you.